Over the past 10 years, Disney Star Wars has made it extremely clear that if you're a fan of George Lucas's Star Wars, they don't want you there. They're going to do everything they can to drive you away. And as a result, over the past decade, Lucasfilm has systematically destroyed Star Wars. Sometimes it's through identity politics and virtue signaling, but other times it's through the destruction of continuity because they simply don't care what they violate. They don't care what this story is, what this story was, what this story was supposed to be. All they care about at this point is getting a cheap pop and making sure that they push their narrative. And so that's the reason one of the biggest failures we've seen so far was the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. A series with one of the most beloved Star Wars characters of all time. Bringing back Darth Vader, bringing back Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader, as Anakin Skywalker. All of these things still resulted in a disaster. And one of the primary reasons for this was because of continuity. And now you have writers from Star Wars coming out and complaining about how hard it is to have to stick to continuity. Spoiler alert, don't fucking write for Star Wars if you don't want to follow the story. Obi-Wan Kenobi writer frustrated by Disney Plus shows canon restrictions. It's almost like you can't just do anything you want anytime you want. Insert any character here. Make up this fight that happened there because it destroys this world. It destroys canon. It destroys continuity. The funny thing is, these motherfuckers are complaining about this when they just went ahead and violated it anyway. They did not care. They were more concerned about getting another rematch between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, regardless of what it does to canon, regardless of what it does next time you watch Episode 4 or A New Hope. Next time you watch that and you realize, wow, these guys just fought not that long ago, I guess. This really isn't as meaningful as it was originally intended to be. Because these people fucking hate George Lucas, they hate Star Wars fans, they just want to write the stories with the identity politics and the narratives that they want, and they're gonna shove it down your throat regardless. Obi-Wan Kenobi writer claims he felt handicapped by adhering to Star Wars canon, show completely disregarded canon anyway. Obi-Wan Kenobi writer Andrew Stanton recently admitted he felt he was handicapped in his storytelling possibilities by having to adhere to canon. Oh, so sorry for you. Stanton spoke with Gizmodo, where he told the outlet, that was the blessing and the curse of it. It's like, one, you're geeking out. You get to type, Vader says this and Kenobi says that. You pause and say, I can't believe I'm actually getting paid to type this. I can't believe these words may be said. But then another part of you, it has to go through such rigors like, does it fit the canon? And I feel it's bittersweet. The reason that happens is because people care, but it also kind of doesn't allow sometimes things to venture beyond where maybe they should to tell a better story. So it can sometimes really handicap what I think are better narrative options, he continued. Stanton then relayed, and I was so frustrated sometimes, but I just felt it wasn't as conducive to the story. But then made a reference to Andor, so I love it when something like Andor's in a safe spot. It can just go do whatever the heck it wants. But I felt, Joby Harold, Obi-Wan co-writer and executive producer, kept the torch alive and kept trying to thread the needle so the story wouldn't suffer, but it would please all the people that were happy to keep it in the canon. But I got some moments in there that I'm very happy with. I mean, like Obi-Wan Kenobi meeting Leia and becoming Leia's fucking mentor in this because they needed Leia to be so important in this because it's Disney, it's identity politics. It's not like Leia wasn't already important. It's not like Leia wasn't already a badass, but they had to go out and they had to insert her in a story where she didn't belong. They had to have Obi-Wan Kenobi leave Tatooine and go on this adventure. They had to have him have not one but two rematches with Darth Vader, despite everybody knowing that wasn't the case. Despite every single person who'd ever watched Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, knowing that was the first time they'd met since Mustafar. Everybody understood that. But no, Disney had to go and change things. And it's not just that, it's like so many other things. Of course, that contradicts George's story. There's no doubt about that. On top of Kenobi being away from Tatooine, he's also in the company of Princess Leia, who he rescued from the Inquisitors. Inquisitor Reva had previously hired a number of mercenaries to kidnap Leia. Kenobi not only rescued her, but when the two were split up, Leia was captured by Reva personally. In the original film, Leia sent the message, General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. Now he begs you to help him in his struggle against the Empire. I regret I'm unable to present my father's request to you in person, but my ship has fallen under attack. Like, this is not someone who knows Obi-Wan. Leia does not know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is. And in the 6th and final episode, Stanton makes numerous changes, including the inclusion of Qui-Gon Jinn as a Force Ghost, which we know he was not able to fully form yet, the duel between Vader and Kenobi, and maybe the most egregious of them all, Reva discovering Luke's home with the full knowledge of who he is and attacking Owen and Beru. This is blatant contradictions, disgusting fucking shit from Disney. It's one of the reasons that the viewership fell off for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Despite all the nostalgia, despite everything that could have been working in its favor, it was a complete and total failure and a flop for Disney Star Wars. One of the last chances they had to really make a splash, and they fucking failed. That's why, as a result, you're seeing something like Andor, which is getting pretty good accolades in terms of how people feel about watching it, but no one's actually watching it. It's getting horrific ratings because of all the damage that Disney has done to the Star Wars brand. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, about writers for Obi-Wan complaining that they actually had to stick to canon and then proceeded to completely fucking ignore it. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.